What's up, everybody? It is Thegoal60 here for Friday, June the 8th, 2018. So today we've got several new series starting up where we picked up 5 brand new plays, including a revenge play. So before we jump into everything that's starting up today, let's recap everything from yesterday. We had 4 series that started up, all unofficial plays, and we did have potential for the one revenge play, but the RPI was too great of a gap, and that was with the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the Seattle Mariners. Now, Seattle was leading that game for the entire length and was up 5-1 late in the game, and if you had taken this, you did take it probably on the run line, which was priced at about minus 155. Now, late in the game, the Rays didn't have a good inning. They scored 3 runs and actually lost the game 5-4. So you would have cashed that bet if any of you guys took it. You cashed. So I'm happy about that. The revenge system's still going strong. The other 3 plays, we did have a line that came up late, which was on Oakland. They were at 165. They did take care of business yesterday, getting the win. The other 2 went 1-1. The Toronto Blue Jays were minus 150 favorite over the Baltimore Orioles, and they got the win. But then Houston actually lost to the Rangers. So Houston today goes up at minus 203. That is the only game that is carried over from yesterday, and that is an unofficial play. Now that we've got all that out of the way, let's talk about all the different series that are starting up today. Now today there are 11 3-game series starting up. We picked up 5 of those as official plays, including 1 revenge play, and I will talk about that 1 revenge play first. So that very first series is San Diego at Miami. Now San Diego is at .491, while the Miami Marlins are at .477 on the RPI scale. The Marlins being within that 15-point range, they're at 14, but it is inside the 15-point range. And of course, like I've said over and over, but they could have been anything above the Padres. They just need to be, if they were below, they need to be within 15 points. And they are, so you look at the price, and the price today is minus 144. So that is the first play, is a revenge play at minus 144 on the Miami Marlins at home. The next 4 plays are all from the RPI system. The first one is the Angels at .520. Versus the Twins at .480. So a 40-point gap there. You look at the Angels, and they are priced at minus 135. So that is the second play. The Angels minus 135. The third play is New York, completely the city. But no, the 2 teams in New York are playing, I believe it's called the Subway Series. They take that up this weekend. And the Yankees are at .551 and in the top 3 of the RPI, while the Mets are at .497. They're about middle range. I believe they're around number 14 or 17, right in that range, right in the middle. So you would look at the Yankees, and the Yankees are priced pretty good. It's minus 116. Now they are taking on DeGrom from the Mets, but I believe, and I may be completely off on this, but I have always believed that good hitting beats good pitching over the long haul. And what I mean by that is, yes, you see the lower scoring games, but if you can't put runs on the, scores on the board, then you're not going to win the game, obviously. That's just a simple fact as you can get right there. So you've got to be able to hit, and while a pitcher may be throwing some nasty stuff, it only takes 1 hit for, something to happen. So I relate these pitchers kind of to college football kickers. They're every single play, except they had to go 90 to 110 times a game versus a college kicker that's only out there 5 to 6 times a game. But every single time they're up there, it only takes 1 mistake, and it can change everything. So that kind of, even the best pitchers, and I guess that's why they get paid the money that they do. But the Yankees are the third play at minus 116. So next up we have the Diamondbacks. They are on the road against the Rockies. The Diamondbacks are at .515. While the Rockies are at .503. So you look at the Diamondbacks, and they're a pretty good price. It's right there at a coin flip game, minus 113. So minus 113, that is what we're taking with the Diamondbacks. And then last, we have the Braves. Now the Braves are on the road. They are at .530 versus the Dodgers, who are at .493. The Dodgers at home, you know they had to be the favorite. So you look at Atlanta, and of course they're the underdog. So you look at the run line, and the run line is at minus 129. So not too bad there. We just need Atlanta to get a win or stay within one run. So we'll take Atlanta is the last play of the day on the run line, minus 129. So that is all 5 of the plays. Now I'll go through all the unofficial plays. All right, so as far as the unofficial plays, of course, there's 6 of those because we had the 5 official, and there was one of those that was a potential revenge play, and I will go ahead and start off with that one. So that game was the Cardinals at the Reds. Now, the Cardinals are the team on the road, but they are not the revenge team. The Reds are. The Reds on the RPI system were .466, while the Cardinals were at .503. So as you can tell, it's too big of a gap, so we had to pass. That is the reason that is the unofficial play. If you look at the price, the Reds are the underdog. You would have got them on the run line at minus 122. So not too bad at all right there. It's just simply the RPI is too big of a gap. Now, like I've said before, the revenge system has been very good to us this year. Hopefully it keeps going, and if you decide to take that, I don't blame you at all. That, to me, Matt Harvey's on the mound tonight for the Reds. It's, ever since he's went to the Reds, he's played a lot better than what he was last year and a half at the Mets. So we'll see what happens there, but I'm not scared of that game too much. Hopefully it comes through for us. Now the rest of these, of course, are RPI system unofficials. So the first one is Boston at home against the White Sox. The White Sox come into this game at .435 and in the bottom 3, while the Red Sox come in at .545 and in the top 3. Therefore, you knew Boston's at home. Boston is a public team. Boston in the top 3, White Sox in the bottom 3. That was going to be a huge line, and it sure enough is. It's over 300, and Chris Sale is pitching today. So minus 309. That price, I wouldn't touch that for nothing. That is Chris Sale going up against his old team and, sitting there at minus 300. Come on. If any of that got out to any of the White Sox players, they may play their best game of the year right here. I wouldn't touch that for nothing. And they may come out and lose 24-0. I don't know. But I'm just saying, as far as me, I wouldn't touch that for any reason. Next up, we have the Indians against the Tigers. Now, the Indians are at .508, while the Tigers are at .470. So, obviously, you look at the Indians, and the Indians' price is what knocks us out at minus 166. So, it's not terribly high, but it is above our range that, the parameters of the system. After that, you've got Pittsburgh at the Cubs. So, right now, Pittsburgh is at .492, while the Cubs are at .523. Now, the last time these two teams played, which I believe was early last week, I couldn't figure out why. I believe 2 out of 3 of those games, Pittsburgh was the favorite, and I just really couldn't understand that. But either way, now the Cubs are the favorite at home, and it is minus 178. So it is pretty expensive, and that's the reason it's outside. And 2 more to go. We've got the Brewers at the Phillies. Now, currently the Brewers are at .516, while the Phillies are at .509. Now, that's pretty close on the scale. Obviously, 7 points away. It's not too far. So you look at the Brewers, they are the underdog on the road. You look at the run line, and the run line is way too expensive. It is minus 184. I believe the heads-up money line, it was barely plus money for the Brewers, something like plus 104, 105, something in that nature, and therefore the run line is pretty high. And last, we have the Giants at the Nationals. Now, the Giants are at .510, while the Nationals are at .516. So another one of those close RPI games this weekend. Should be a lot of really good baseball being played. And currently, you look at the Nationals, and they're priced at home just like the Red Sox or the Dodgers or any of these Cubs. These home teams that are public teams, they're going to be very expensive. And sure enough, they are at minus 195. So that is everything for today. That's all 11 series, unofficial and official. And then, of course, we have the one from yesterday with the Astros unofficial. So I really appreciate you guys watching this. I hope you have a great Friday, and I will see you in the morning. Thanks.
60% of the time, it works.